What if fear no longer had a voice in your life? Not muffled for a moment, not managed, tamed, or bargained with, but erased, gone, extinguished. Imagine waking up every day without hesitation, without second guessing yourself, without that inner voice telling you you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. What choices would you make then? What doors would you finally open? What dreams would you chase with relentless, unstoppable passion? The reality is, fear isn't your enemy, surrender is. Fear is natural, primal. It whispers and warns, but it only defeats you when you yield to it. Every time you believe its lies, every time you shrink back, instead of stepping forward, you trade power for comfort, growth for safety. You stall, suffocate, and remain stagnant, not because you're weak, but because fear has tricked you into thinking stillness equals survival. But not today. Today we reveal fear for what it is: a liar, a story, a shadow pretending to be real. Today we bury it, not with empty feel-good talk, but with truth, discipline, practice, and a purpose too big for excuses. In the next few moments, you'll learn how to stop running from fear and start confronting it. You'll learn how to stand tall even when your hands shake, how to act before fear fades, and how to build a mind so sharp and disciplined that fear no longer has room to thrive. So take a deep breath, step forward, and don't look back. This is the day you defeat fear. Let's clear something up. Fear isn't your enemy. Fear is instinct. It's ancient, embedded in your biology to protect you. In many ways, it's kept you safe. But what fear was never meant to do is lead you. It was never supposed to be your guide, your counselor, or your decision maker. And yet, that's exactly what most people allow it to become. They let fear take the wheel and then wonder why their lives feel like they're going in circles. You feel fear when you're about to do something new, something risky, something that challenges your comfort or control. That's not weakness. That's your brain doing what it's wired to do. But here's the truth. Fear itself isn't what holds you back. Inaction is. It's not the fear you feel. It's the pause you take because of it. It's the opportunity you don't seize. The silence you choose instead of speaking up, the dream you push off for some other time. Most people wait for fear to vanish before they take action. They wait to feel brave, to feel certain, but that moment never comes. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the action you take despite it. And if you're waiting to feel ready, you'll wait forever. The people who change the world, who move mountains, shape industries, and make history, they feel fear too, but they keep moving forward anyway. That's the shift you need. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to stop obeying fear like it's a command. You need to stop giving it authority it hasn't earned. Fear can sit in the passenger seat, sure, but it doesn't get to touch the wheel, not anymore. Here's where it gets powerful. The more you act in the face of fear, the smaller it becomes. Every time you take action when you're afraid, you teach your brain that fear doesn't mean stop, it means this matters. It means you need to step up. It means you're getting close to something important. Repetition rewires reality, and the more you face fear head on, the less control it has over you. You'll become someone fear can't live inside because you've trained your mind to act before fear can settle in. So the next time fear creeps up, remember, you don't need less fear. You need more action. Don't analyze. Don't overthink. Don't negotiate. Just move. Fear hates momentum, and the moment you act, fear starts to fade. Fear is a master storyteller. It spins lies so convincing, so emotionally charged, that they feel like truth. But the harsh reality is, fear is a liar, and the most dangerous lies it tells are about you. It whispers that you're not ready, not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. It tells you that if you try, you'll fail, that if you speak, they'll laugh, that if you chase your dreams, you'll crash and burn. And because fear wears the voice of your own mind, you believe it. You accept it as reality, never realizing it's just a story, one you've repeated so many times it's become familiar, but not true. Fear thrives on imagination. It takes a moment of uncertainty and builds an entire movie around it. You don't just worry about a difficult conversation. You see it going horribly wrong. You don't just hesitate to try something new. You picture yourself failing publicly and permanently. You don't just fear rejection. You imagine humiliation, abandonment, and proof that you never had what it takes. And that's how fear wins. Not with truth, but with repetition. The more you rehearse the worst-case scenario, the more your nervous system believes it's real. When your brain believes the threat is real, it floods your body with signals to retreat, heart racing, breath shallow, muscles tense. Suddenly, you're not living in the present. You're trapped in a future that hasn't even happened yet. And in that state, even the smallest step forward feels impossible. But here's the breakthrough. If fear is built by repetition, so is confidence. If fear is a story, you can tell a better one. A story where you speak and are heard. A story where you leap and land. A story where you fail and rise anyway. Because the truth is, your mind can't tell the difference between imagination and memory. If you can visualize failure, you can visualize success. If you can rehearse disaster, you can also rehearse triumph. This is the real battlefield, not out there, but in here. And the moment you stop accepting fear's script and start rewriting it, you take back control. You don't have to feel brave to act brave. You don't have to feel certain to move forward. You just have to stop giving fear the mic. The voice in your head is powerful, but it doesn't always tell the truth. The biggest lie it tells is that fear is your limit. It's not. It's your signal. It's the flag that tells you you're standing at the edge of your growth. What happens next is up to you. Fear grows in the dark, in silence, in avoidance. The more you run from it, the bigger it gets. The more you try to outthink it, the louder it becomes. Because fear doesn't shrink with time. It shrinks with exposure. And this is where most people get it wrong. They wait for courage to arrive before they take the leap. They wait for fear to fade before they take the first step. But courage doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a freezing pool. You can dip your toe in, walk away, come back tomorrow, overthink it, and still feel cold just looking at it. Or you can dive in, shock your system, let your body adapt, and within seconds you're no longer afraid. Why? Because you've experienced what your mind exaggerated. It's not about being fearless, it's about being willing. Willing to feel the fear and still move forward. Willing to look uncertainty in the eye and say, you're not the end, you're the beginning. This is how you kill fear, not with avoidance, but with exposure. You lean into what terrifies you. You practice the uncomfortable. You make it familiar. And the more familiar it becomes, the less power it holds over you. Speak even when your voice trembles. Show up even when your hands shake. Launch the idea even if it's imperfect. Ask the question even if you're afraid of the answer. That's the work. That's the training ground. Because repetition rewires reality. The first time is terrifying. The second time is uncomfortable. The 10th time becomes routine. And the 100th time, freedom. The people you admire, the speakers, the leaders, the creators, the fighters, they didn't start brave. They started scared. The difference is they refused to stay that way. They built tolerance to discomfort. They didn't run from the storm. They stepped into it again and again until the thunder couldn't shake them anymore. The truth is, fear never fully leaves, but you stop flinching when it speaks. You stop shrinking when it rises, because you've faced it enough times to know it's just a sound. It's just a signal, and it doesn't have the final word. You do. The only way out is through. Through the trembling, through the failure, through the doubt. You walk straight into the storm, not because you're unafraid, but because you know the other side of fear holds the life you haven't yet lived. And that's a price worth paying. If you want to kill fear, you must go to its source, your mind. Because fear doesn't start in the world, it starts in your thoughts, in the silent, invisible stories you tell yourself. Stories of inadequacy, danger, and what might go wrong. Stories that play on a loop, shaping your reality without you even realizing it. And here's the truth. If you don't train your thoughts, they'll train you. Left unchecked, the mind becomes a battlefield where fear always wins. But you're not here to be ruled by fear. You're here to reclaim your mind, to take back the pen and write a new script. It starts with this simple yet powerful realization. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You are the architect, the programmer, the one who decides what stays. So when fear whispers, you're not ready, you don't accept it. You question it. Says who? When it says you'll fail, you reply, maybe, but I'll learn. You flip the script. You disrupt the pattern. Because every thought is a seed, and what you water grows. If you water fear, you'll harvest hesitation. But if you water courage, if you flood your mind with powerful, intentional, disciplined thoughts, then boldness becomes your default. This isn't about blind positivity. It's about intentional mental conditioning. Just like athletes train their bodies, warriors train their reflexes, and musicians train their fingers, you must train your mind. You train it with affirmations that declare your worth, with visualizations that lock your focus on the outcome, and with repetition that makes greatness feel familiar. Tell yourself what you want to believe, and believe it until it becomes your new reality. Become the person you truly are. Speak it, feel it, act on it daily. I remain calm under pressure. I face fear and move forward. I don't shrink, I expand. These aren't just words. They are commands. And your subconscious is always listening. Don't just think these thoughts, live them. Let your actions reflect your new identity. Your mind learns by watching you. So when you do something bold, when you move despite the nerves, when you speak up even with shaking hands, your brain registers, we do hard things now. This is how identity changes, how fear loses its grip. You're not weak for feeling fear, but you stay weak if you let fear lead. Discipline your inner world, and the outer world will bend to meet it. Guard your thoughts like a vault. Interrupt the lies, install the truth, and remember, you always have a choice. Fear may visit, but it doesn't stay unless you open the door. Train your mind, or let fear train you. The choice is always yours. What if fear wasn't a stop sign, but a signal? What if the thing you fear most is the very thing you're meant to do? Most people see fear and think, don't go there, don't try that, don't speak up, don't risk it. But in truth, fear often points toward growth. It points to the edge of your comfort zone. And that's exactly where growth begins. The fire in your chest, the trembling in your hands, they're not signs of weakness. They're signs that you're standing at the edge of something significant. That's your spirit recognizing a moment of truth. Because the things that scare you the most are often the things that will grow you the most. Public speaking, launching a business, ending a toxic relationship, stepping into your purpose. These aren't dangers, they're doorways. And the key to unlocking them is action. Not perfection, not certainty, but movement. One step forward into the thing that terrifies you. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to move in its presence. So when fear shows up, don't shrink. Lean in, lean toward the fire. Let it sharpen you. Let it burn away your excuses and let it fuel you. The resistance you feel means you're getting close to your calling, close to your next level. Let me tell you something, most people won't. The fear never fully disappears. Not for the brave, not for the successful, not for the legends. The fear is still there, but they've made peace with it. They've learned to walk with it, to keep going, even while shaking. That's what makes them fearless. Not that they feel nothing, but that they refuse to be owned by it. So the next time fear shows up, say thank you. I see you, but I'm not stopping. Then take that step. Make the call. Hit publish. Say yes. Say no. Do the thing that scares you. The moment you lean toward the fire, fear begins to fade, and what's left is freedom. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. You won't become fearless by waiting for bravery. You don't kill fear with feelings. You kill fear with discipline. Motivation comes and goes. It's a spark, quick, loud, exciting, but short-lived. Discipline, however, is a steady flame. It's the engine behind every fearless life. When you train yourself to act, not when you feel like it, but when it needs to be done, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. Courage isn't a lightning bolt. It's a decision, a daily decision to show up, to do the hard things, to lean into discomfort again and again, even when your mind screams for safety. Especially then. This is what the greats understand. They don't wait for confidence. They act, and confidence catches up. They don't wait for the fear to vanish. They do the thing anyway, and fear learns it has no place there. Discipline silences fear because it removes negotiation. There's no debate, no should I or shouldn't I. It's already decided. The alarm rings, you rise. The task is hard, you do it anyway. The voice of doubt whispers, you walk forward in spite of it. That's discipline. The more you act in the presence of fear, the more you rewire your mind. You condition it to understand that fear is not danger, it's data. And data doesn't control you, it informs you. So ask yourself, are you living by feeling or by principle? If fear is still calling the shots, it's time to shift. Build rituals that strengthen your mind. Surround yourself with reminders of your vision. Keep your commitments to yourself. One small act of courage every day, and soon you'll wake up wondering why you ever let fear run the show. Discipline makes you consistent, and consistency makes you inevitable. Picture this, you're lying on your deathbed, moments from the end. Around you are not just memories, but the ghosts of every dream you didn't pursue, every risk you never took, every version of you that could have existed. They look at you with one question: why did you let fear decide for you? You see, fear doesn't just steal your moments, it steals your legacy. It convinces you to shrink, to play safe, to sit down when you were made to stand tall. But what if you could see the cost? What if you could see the future that fear is quietly robbing you of? Because that's the thing, most people don't realize they're choosing fear. They think they're choosing comfort, safety, and familiarity, but what they're really doing is burying their greatness under excuses. They're trading impact for ease, legacy for security. Let me be clear, no one remembers the man who stayed silent. No one builds statues for the woman who avoided failure. The world is moved by those who were scared but moved anyway. By those who stood up, spoke out, and stepped forward in spite of the trembling in their voice or the knot in their stomach. Fear will always offer comfort, but legacy? Legacy demands discomfort. It demands pain, sacrifice, risk. It demands that you decide what matters more, the opinions of others or the opinion you'll have of yourself when your time is up. So ask yourself right now, what will your life say when you're gone? Will it whisper of missed chances and silent regrets? Or will it roar with the sound of someone who chose purpose over paralysis, action over avoidance, courage over comfort? You don't need to know every step. You just need to refuse to let fear have the final word. Your legacy is being written, whether you realize it or not, and only one version ends with you free. If fear is a liar, then your routine is the truth teller. It's not just mindset that slays fear, it's movement. It's not about one big heroic act, it's about the habits that turn courage into your natural state. The fearless aren't born brave, they're forged by discipline. And every day they perform small rituals that suffocate fear before it has a chance to speak. Start here. Each morning, do something uncomfortable. Not huge, not reckless, just something that makes your heart race a little. A cold shower, an honest conversation, a hard phone call. Why? Because the nervous system must be trained, and when you teach your body to survive discomfort, fear begins to lose its grip. Second, move physically, whether it's lifting, running, walking. Motion kills stagnation, and stagnation is fear's playground. When you move your body, your brain follows. Confidence builds, clarity returns, energy rises, and fear has no room in a body that's in motion. Third, speak power into your mind. Affirmation isn't corny, it's war. The thoughts you rehearse become the beliefs you carry. Every morning, stand tall and say, I am not afraid. I'm not here to shrink. I'm here to lead. Say it until you believe it. Then act in a way that makes it true. Fourth, win the first battle. Make your bed, show up on time, finish the task you don't want to do. Because when you start your day with a win, fear loses a piece of its power. And when you stack those wins, you build momentum. And momentum is what makes the impossible feel inevitable. Lastly, reflect each night. Ask yourself, where did fear whisper today, and where did I push back? This is how you refine yourself, how you get sharper. You become unshakable, not by avoiding fear, but by facing it again and again until it breaks. The fearless life is not an accident. It's crafted with intention, repetition, and ruthless self-respect. If you want to kill fear, don't wait to feel brave. Train it, build it, practice it, one bold action at a time. Today we don't just talk about fear, we lay it to rest, because the truth is, fear dies when you stop feeding it, when you stop bowing to it, when you realize it has no real authority, only the power you've given it. From this moment on, take that power back. No more waiting, no more hesitation, no more shrinking to fit the comfort of others or the lies of your past. You were not born to live small. You were not designed to tiptoe through life, avoiding danger. You were made to walk through fire and emerge forged. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. You bury the fear, you silence the doubt, you take the first step, then another and another, until you no longer remember what it felt like to be ruled by hesitation. And when fear shows its face again, as it always will, you will smile, because now you know its game. You've studied it, outlasted it, and trained your mind and body to walk forward anyway. Fear no longer gets a vote in your future. Only your vision does, only your mission does. So stand tall, straighten your spine, and face fear one last time. Say thank you for the lessons, for the growth, for the clarity, and then say goodbye, because you're done letting fear decide who you get to be. This is your time now. You are fearless because you chose to be. But this is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how to build unshakable confidence, not in theory, but in daily action. You've slain the fear. Now it's time to build the warrior. Subscribe now, because fear may be behind you, but your future is just getting started. The other version of you, the one who never hesitates, never retreats, is waiting,